What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Surfing the Stream, where every week we are on a quest to find out what is the greatest movie of all time. I wish that I could sit here and I wish that I could come to you today and tell you that Madam Web is a bad movie. I wish that I could come here and tell you that it is, in fact, one of the worst movies of 2024. I come here today to tell you that it is, in fact, worse than that. Okay, guys? It is the worst movie, not only of 2024, it is the worst superhero movie of all time. It's up there in the conversation of worst movies of all time. It's not just a bad movie, it is absolutely god awful. So, let's review Madam Web. This is a movie that I've had no interest in watching ever since it got announced. This is a movie that is part of the Sony Spider-Verse, air quotes around that. And it's, like I said, when you put it up against Morbius, Venom 1 and 2, I mean, look, it didn't have a good track record to begin with of this potentially being a good movie. And then the reviews came out and it absolutely shredded the movie. And honestly, I don't think those reviews did it justice, because this is worse than all of those. And they were pretty spot on with what they said was wrong about it, right? I don't know. I just felt like there wasn't enough anger and anguish in those reviews to really tell people how bad of a movie this is. I get that it is a comic book movie, but it tries so hard to not be one. In fact, I will go full spoilers for this entire review, okay? Because I don't feel like I could get across my point of how bad this movie is without jumping into spoilers. So if you have any interest in watching Madam Web, this is your opportunity to pause this, come back, turn this off, whatever the case may be, okay? Madam Web is borderline not even a comic book movie. And that's for the sheer fact that the superheroes in this movie aren't even really there, okay? Madam Web, yes, she is there. She's never in costume until the very, very, very end, and it looks god-awful. You have the other characters in the Spider family that were teased in the trailers. Let me tell you, that's it. Okay, that's the only times you ever see those costumes in play on the other characters besides Madam Web. Okay, those little snippets in the trailers, yeah, those are flash forward scenes, and it's in the movie for probably a total of it's like 3 scenes, I think. Total 3 flash forward scenes where she's kind of predicting the future. And again, I'm using a lot of air quotes for this. There are about 3 scenes, and they take less than a minute combined, I would say. But that's not the most egregious thing about this movie, okay? I think it's pretty fucking stupid to begin with. Like, why would you put those in the trailers and make it seem like we're going to have a bunch of different superheroes in this movie, when in fact, it's just Madam Web babysitting the entire goddamn movie. That is legitimately the plot of the movie. We have the villain, whoever the fuck that is, because, again, don't know, don't care who the villain is. He is after them for one reason, okay? Because he, in his mind, while he was sleeping, he dreamed that these 3 girls were going to kill him one day. So what does he do? He goes out and tries to kill them first. That is the plot of the fucking movie, okay? And Madam Web just gets sucked into that because she also sees this in advance, and it is so fucking stupid. Okay, so right there, dumbass plot, right? Now, I'm a paramedic, and a lot of our Patreon supporters are paramedics as well. There is a lot of EMS-related shit in this movie, and I have a very hard time turning my brain off to that type of shit. It's one of the worst depictions of a paramedic EMS ever. And this is counting TV shows, okay? She legitimately, this is what happens in the fucking movie. She teaches those 3 girls how to do CPR because they need to be prepared one day. She spends time teaching them how to do CPR. At the very end of the movie, old dude falls off a fucking roof and a sign falls on top of him. That's how he dies. And she falls into the river, lake, whatever the fuck. And then a bottle rocket or something blinds her. She drowns. Said girls recover her and bring her back to the surface, and then presume to do CPR on her and bring her back to life. Okay. And then she never once mentions that she can't see it at all. It's just, it's like the next scene, they're like, how's your eyesight? And it's like, I can see better than ever. And it's so fucking stupid, guys. So stupid. The actors and actresses in this movie, you can visibly see on their faces that they want no part of this movie. They do not want to be there. They don't care about this movie. They hate the script, everything. And it is all in their performances. I have never seen so many phoned in performances in one movie. You can legitimately tell that they all hated working on this movie. And Dakota Johnson is the worst of them all. A lot of them just kind of just phone in. Like, they don't put a whole lot of effort in. No, you can see on Dakota Johnson's face the entire movie that she physically and mentally fucking hates this movie. And she lets it be known. And then all the stuff in post-release leading up to the movie, she even said that this movie was terrible, essentially. So she is not hiding the fact that she hated this movie. But yeah, other than that, other than the story, being absolute dog shit, other than the characters having no personality, you don't care about any of the characters whatsoever, and other than the fact that there's little to no action in a comic book movie, other than the fact that there are terrible performances throughout, other than this being one of the worst villains of all time. And in fact, I think he dubbed over him. I don't know, because it literally never sounds like the words are coming from him. Very, very weird. I don't know what happened with that. But other than that, and other than the fact that the suits are in there for all of like 5 seconds, and just everything just organically just looks like shit in this movie. And then let's not even talk about the editing with her flash forwards. It is just god-awful to look at. This is, without a doubt, one of the worst movies that I have ever seen in my entire life. And I would 100% not recommend people to go see this movie. I don't think this is even a movie worth watching on a Friday night, getting drunk, super fucking drunk, and then watching it. I don't even recommend it, okay? It's on Netflix. If you decide that you want to spend 2 hours of your life watching this bullshit, then by all means, go ahead. I can't stop you. But it's an absolute dog shit of a movie, guys. But yeah, let me know in the comments below of what you think about Madam Web if you have seen it. Also, links down below to all of our social media accounts and our Patreon. We'd greatly appreciate it if you like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube and all of our various accounts. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it for me. I appreciate y'all joining me for this episode, and I will catch y'all next time on another one. Laters.